Hello everyone and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Todd Chrisley says Julie set bar low, roasts his wife. Todd and Julie Chrisley have shared the story of their time behind bars and their early release with fans ever since their presidential pardon. While speaking out about various issues in the modern prison system and sharing emotional moments, the couple has also shared some lighter stories. In fact, a recent share between the two even came complete with Todd roasting Julie. The Chrisley Knows Best recently talked about the adjustments of the outside world on their podcast series. Todd and Julie Chrisley became well known to audiences through their reality series, Chrisley Knows Best. The couple had been convicted back in 2022 over charges including tax evasion and bank fraud. Originally, the couple was expected to spend a combined sentence of 19 years behind bars. However, the two saw an early release back in May when they were granted a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Since their release, Todd and Julie have been sharing their story with various outlets. As previously reported, this even includes the return of their podcast series, Chrisley Confessions 2.0. During a recent episode of their podcast series, the two discussed how tabloids talked about them at the time of their recent release. In particular, Julie touched on how she looked in photos. Julie especially highlighted how she looked at the time, but shared she was turning it into a positive. She added, "Now, was there a horrible picture that came out of me? Yeah, but you know what? The way I flip that is, look at me now. People think I look even better because that horrible picture was out there to begin with." Todd then began to tease Julie about the moment. He shared, "Listen, I will say you set the bar low. You had to go nowhere but up. You had to go nowhere but up." Todd felt he understood where Julie was coming from when dealing with hair color. Julie felt Todd wasn't being very nice with his comment. However, he shared, "Listen, I'm just trying to be honest. That's what we have here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw you, when I got out of that car, I started thinking about going back. But then I thought, let me embrace this. This is a moment." In the middle of this, Julie bluntly asked, "Are you kidding me right now?" Todd then shared this was one of the first times he saw her with dark hair. For his part, Todd noted that he could empathize as there was some concern about his gray hair. As he shared, even the warden offered to help him color it. However, he felt he was good at the time. Julie then revealed that while the prison had a salon, she was still required to buy dyes from the prison commissary. She then explained she used a dark color to cover up any gray hair. She mused, "Everybody thought I should be blonde, but it was really hard to be good blonde in prison, especially when you have gray like what I have." It seems prison hasn't stripped Todd Chrisley of his flair for the dramatic or his biting humor. The former reality star and self-proclaimed Southern gentleman has reportedly taken a swipe at his wife, Julie Chrisley, in a shocking and very public rant. While many fans hoped the couple's time behind bars might have strengthened their bond, Todd's latest comments suggest a storm might be brewing behind those prison walls. According to insiders, Todd recently made a scathing remark about Julie during a phone conversation that was overheard and later leaked. The explosive quote, "Julie set the bar so low, I had to trip over it just to make her happy." While the line had a comedic edge, those who know Todd best say the jab was anything but lighthearted. "He's been simmering for a while now," one insider shared. "Todd always had that sharp tongue, but lately there's been more bitterness behind it. It's like the pressure of prison life has cracked open a vault of resentment." A marriage built on appearances. Longtime fans of Chrisley Knows Best have watched Todd and Julie paint a picture-perfect marriage for years. With their pastel-colored home, well-groomed children, and endless monologues about family values, they sold viewers the image of a Southern power couple with a touch of sass. But that image has slowly crumbled. They knew how to play the reality TV game. A former crew member revealed. Julie was the steady one, the voice of reason, while Todd was the firecracker. But what we saw on camera wasn't always what we got behind the scenes. According to production sources, the couple often clashed over Todd's need to be the center of attention and Julie's growing frustration with being cast as the quiet, obedient wife. Now that the cameras are gone and their lives have been reduced to prison routines and legal battles, the cracks have deepened. Comedy or cruelty? Todd has always leaned into snark and sarcasm, but his recent comments about Julie suggest his trademark humor may be morphing into something darker. He didn't stop with the low bar line. He allegedly added, "She thought cooking a casserole and nodding her head made her superwoman. Bless her heart." Fans are divided. Some say it's just Todd being Todd, his Southern roast-style humor that's always danced on the line between bold and brutal. Others argue it's a sign of deeper marital strife that's been masked by their reality show persona. "He's lashing out," one fan posted on social media. Julie stood by him even as their empire fell apart. If this is how he repays her loyalty, it's disgusting. Another fan chimed in, "Todd used to be funny. Now he just sounds bitter and mean. Prison has turned him into someone else." Is Julie finally fed up? Julie Chrisley, who is reportedly keeping a much lower profile than her husband, may finally be reaching her breaking point. While she has always appeared composed and loyal, those close to her say she's tired of being the emotional punching bag. Julie's always played the long game, a source close to the Chrisley family shared. She's patient, but not a pushover. If Todd keeps running his mouth, she's not going to stay silent much longer. In fact, some insiders suggest Julie is preparing her own tell-all memoir behind bars, one that could flip the Chrisley image on its head. She's got stories, the source continued. And if Todd keeps taking public shots at her, she might just tell the world what life with him was really like. Family caught in the crossfire. The couple's children, Savannah, Chase, Grayson, and even estranged Lindsay, have been trying to hold the pieces together while their parents serve time. But Todd's recent remarks may be making that even harder. Savannah is livid, a family friend claimed. She's doing her best to keep her siblings safe, maintain the Chrisley brand, and fight for her parents' appeal. But now she's caught in the middle of their marital mess too. Meanwhile, Lindsay, who's had a strained relationship with her father for years, reportedly rolled her eyes when she heard about Todd's jab. Typical Todd, she allegedly told a friend, still thinks the world revolves around him. From glamorous life to prison roast battles, there's no denying that Chrisley's fall from grace has been hard to watch. Once hailed as a beacon of family unity and Southern charm, their empire collapsed under the weight of tax evasion charges, legal scandals, and now, personal insults. Todd's public roast of Julie may have been meant to entertain, but it landed like a slap to the face for many who admired their marriage. Everyone knew Todd had a sharp tongue, a longtime viewer noted, but dragging Julie like that, it just feels low, pun intended. What comes next? With Todd and Julie both serving lengthy prison sentences minus 12 years and 7 years respectively, the couple still has time to reflect, regroup, or perhaps grow even more distant. But one thing's for certain, the illusion of the perfect marriage has been shattered. Whether Todd walks back his comment or doubles down remains to be seen. If Julie decides to clap back, fans may finally get the unfiltered story behind the prim and proper facade. Until then, we're left with one memorable line: Todd Chrisley roasting the woman who once stood beside him through fame, scandal, and federal court, all with a smirk and a casserole.